Is an update on what is now Hurricane Nadine again, and tropical storm, it's a new tropical storm, Norman. Let's take a look at Hurricane Nadine first. We also have an active storm system in the U.S. right now. Let's take a look at Nadine. Nadine is up to 75-mile-per-hour winds. This storm is actually completing its loop. It's 2.5 week long loop, and this storm will continue to head off towards the north and eventually the northeast. This system has the potential to affect the Azores in one way or another. So if you're in the Azores, be paying very close attention to this storm, because this storm is going to head off towards the northeast and could maintain hurricane status. Late in the period, it actually gets moved off to the east by a trough. So this thing's been teasing the Azores for quite some time. So if we take a look at the satellite picture, it's really becoming better organized, as you can see here. Much better organized. This thing is really blown up as it's run over a sea surface temperature of near 80-82 degrees. So that's let it actually develop a little bit better. Let's take a look at Norman, Tropical Storm Norman. It's actually affecting near Mexico right now. You can see the particulars. It's near Los Mochis, just on the western Mexican coast here. This system is going to head inland here. You can see the deep tropical moisture being funneled into this frontal boundary across Texas right now, and Texas is really going to get deluged by this as this system gets entrained up into it, and it continues. This system is stalled, and so is the Tropical Storm Norman, and this system is going to move very painfully slowly across Mexico during the next several days and get entrained into this trough. And all of this moisture is going to head up into Texas, where we could see on the order here of 3, 4, 5, locally 6 inches from southwest Texas down into southern Texas. So this is something to watch very closely here. Let's take a look at weather stateside. That's it for the tropics. We don't have any other development areas. If we take a look, we've got that, of course, out west here. We don't have much happening here. We've got a little bit of a trough up in Montana, but very, very few clouds to speak of. The main thing to talk about here is that across Mexico into Texas here, you can see this frontal boundary. It's a stationary front that extends from the Texas Panhandle all the way up into Pennsylvania and another area low pressure near New York City, just off the coast here. Now this system is going to continue to push moisture from Texas all up into Arkansas here, and eventually up into the mid-Atlantic. And it's going to keep areas such as this cloudy. Where you see this front right now is pretty much where it's going to stay all weekend. Across Texas, you can see here, we've had some flash flood reports here. We also have a good deal of flash flood watches and warnings that have gone into effect. And as we follow this front up to Kentucky, up into Virginia here, we can actually see a good deal of torrential rains that have produced flooding in northern Virginia, some reports of severe weather across central and southern Virginia, and this system continues on up into southern New England. And we have fog and mist from central PA on up to central New York, southern tier of New York, crossing up to New England here. So this is the area that we're going to continue to see cloudiness and more thundery conditions. And no severe weather outbreaks to speak of. There are a few severe thunderstorm warnings in central and southern Virginia, North Carolina, but that's about it. The main story to talk about is the flooding. Now, if we take a look at precipitation models, because this is the thing that's going to be most talked about, is the fact that we have a good amount of moisture, and the NAM actually does a fairly good job. The GFS had it confined to a central location just over Texas, but the NAM really paints a good picture. It's picking up the drizzle up here in the northeast that's going on, the fog and the drizzle, all the way down to Texas, and you can see these red, orange, and fuchsia blobs. This is on the order of 2 to 3 inches every 6 or 7 hours. And this is going to pummel across the southern states here, where we could see a very rainy weekend from Texas all the way over to Georgia, and this could have implications for flash flooding. So we have these flash flood watches in place in Texas. Heed the warnings if they go into effect. If we take a look at precipitation maps, you can see across the northeast here, this system is actually going to be exiting, but we're going to maintain the cloud cover on the order of 3/4 inches on average of rainfall. But it's here across central and southern Georgia where we get into 2.5 to 3 inches of rain down and through here, and across New Orleans 4 to 5 inches of rain over to Brownsville, and then extending up towards over to West Texas here, the Panhandle, 3, 4, maybe 5 inches of rain, and locally higher amounts because Norman's moisture is really going to be drawn into this. Norman, by the way, has 40-mile-per-hour winds, but we all know tropical storms can really bring a lot of rain, no matter what their intensity is. I'm meteorologist Mark Molnar for meteomark.com. Subscribe to us on Facebook to the right, or above to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like us on Facebook to the right, and if you like this video, like it. I'm meteorologist Mark Molnar for meteomark.com.